He then stabbed Naruto in the back. He with a knife. He twisted it. Naruto screamed in pain. He didn't even bother to remove it, the knife. So I guess that won't die, huh? From this. And that's what's gonna make it fun. He then continued to stab Naruto in the back repeatedly and would leave the knife in the back. He would even dig a blade deep into the back for an extra fun. He would say less to say this sucked for the last hour until he stopped and left Naruto there in a knife stuck in his back. Naruto eventually got used to the pain, but not enough to say he was comfortable. It still hurts like hell. The man came back holding a crowbar in the shoulder. It's time to continue what you did 13 years ago, demon, he spat out. Naruto shook his head up. You calling me a demon? Naruto yelled, and the man froze. You call me a demon? And look at what you guys are doing. My whole life has been calling me those names, and I'm trying my best not to release it. I try for all of you to acknowledge me, he cried. The man was in awe struck. He didn't. The boy was so nice, but now the man flinched at what he saw. Naruto started to cry. But now I see how would be repaid by you all. Before the crowbar hit him, the head which knocked him out, Naruto stood up awake and crawled backwards like he was trying to get away from someone. Naruto sat to the corner like a scared child. He took a second to look around his surroundings and found that he was in a clean blue bedroom. Naruto ran his head through his hair just to try and relax, but he felt a bandage wrapped around his head. He noticed that he was shirtless and was only wearing his black pants. Only for a few questions went through his head. What happened to me? What the heck was with that dream? And where the hell am I? The door opened and the girl came out with a black long hair with a black eyes. She wore a white clothes and a sword beside her. She looked really nice, but she, for some reason, looked really familiar. Glad you're awake, she said happily. Naruto stayed back. He didn't want what was going on. She walked closer to him, with a hand showing she didn't would hurt him. Do you remember what happened yesterday? Naruto shook his head. No. She sat down Naruto beside him. Was oh well. You were hidden in a tree, and I think I saw you trip on something, and you fell on the ground head first. After that, I remember now. You're Yami, right? Naruto asked. Naruto relaxed, got out of the corner of the side of the wall, just sat there in the middle of the bed. She giggled. That's right. Now, are you gonna let me check your bandage? Naruto nodded and she removed the bandage. All the blood from her her head is gone. I think you're alright, she said. I was bleeding? He said in surprise. Yup, you had a blood trailing down your head in a direction. I'm actually surprised that it all healed so quickly, she said, being impressed. Heh, I guess I do heal really fast, Naruto said awkwardly. Yami got up from the bed and stood up. Before we do anything, I want to ask you something. Naruto nodded, showing he was ready for the question. Can you uncast your genjutsu? It's giving me a headache. Naruto was look where the door was. Would it be bad if he just booked it? What are you talking about? Oh, come on. I'm a Kunoichi and I can tell what is a genjutsu. Naruto didn't say anything. He didn't know what to say and changed her mind. Naruto removed back a bit and some distance. Yami rolled her eyes. She surprised Naruto by putting her hands on his shoulder. She held two fingers up. Release. She watched Naruto blonde hair change back to whiskers, few thicker, and his eyes changed into blue orbs to red, black slit. Wow, she said, surprised. Naruto touched his face and felt his teeth. He looked at Yami and she looked confused. Naruto just sighed and laid his bed against the wall. Well, what do you think? She giggled. I think you look really cute. Naruto blushed. But I look like a monster. So what if you don't accept yourself? Life is gonna suck. She put her hand on Naruto's cheek. If you are a monster, then so be it. At least you know who you are, she concluded. Naruto removed her hands from his cheek. Why are you telling me this? He asked. She disappeared like she was the breeze. Out of nowhere, a kunai was on Naruto's throat. There are many types of monsters, Naruto, Yami whispered in his ears. Yami got up and walked towards the door. I have breakfast ready in the kitchen. She waved at Naruto, telling him to follow her. Naruto got up, didn't bother to put the genjutsu back, and followed her out of the room. They both entered the kitchen, and Naruto almost drooled to the sight of food. Naruto and Yami sat at the table, began to eat. While they were eating, Naruto still had many questions. Can I ask you something, Yami? Yami looked up and sure. If you're Konoichi, then what village are you from? He asked. Well, I'm not from any village. My parents taught me how to protect myself and I just proceed from there. She answered. My turn. What is with your face change? Should he say he's a Jinchuriki? Why not? I'm a Jinchuriki, he answered. Really so? Because of the red eyes? I guess you're the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails? She asked. Naruto looked down and nodded. Sadly, I am. Yamin got up from her seat and leaned on Naruto's shoulder. Come on, cheer up. At least she made you cuter than before. She got that right. Naruto blushed at the both of their comments. So, where are we? He asked. Oh, just outside of the leaf, about 5 miles away from the village, she answered. They would continue to talk for the rest of the day. Naruto and Yami became really good friends. Naruto found out that she was 15 years old and that she lives alone. Apparently, she lost her parents when she was young and she had the figure thing out on her own. She even showed Naruto a few things to better his taijutsu. But eventually, Naruto had to leave. Just before Naruto left the house, Yami had something. Naruto, you forgot something. She showed him his leaf headband. Naruto grabbed it and wrapped it around his neck. It was nice meeting you. Yeah, you know. Naruto happily said it. Naruto put his face, Kate. They both said their goodbyes, and Naruto left. We'll see each other again real soon, Naruto. Naruto left. Naruto and Sasuke were doing a taijutsu only sparring. Sasuke and Kakashi were training in a mountains for a month and half. They came back a week before the exam. Sasuke was anxious to test, so he needed a dummy. Kakashi was watching the spar to see how his new two students have improved. He knew Sasuke had improved a lot. He was surprised with Naruto. Not only he was keeping up with Sasuke, but he had seemed have upper hand. Naruto threw a punch at Sasuke's head. Sasuke dodged and kneed Naruto's gut. Right after he got kneed to his gut, Naruto stabbed Sasuke's headband and slammed him. Naruto felt a knee trying to catch his breath. Sasuke lost his balance put his hand on his face from pain, and some blood started to come from his nose. They both glared. They knew what was about to happen. Naruto hand up one of his hand up, and Sasuke began his hand sealing. In unison, Rasengan from a Chidori lit up, and they charged at each other. Kakashi cursed. He then appeared between both students, holding their arm and keeping them from connecting their attacks. We're not trying to kill each other. Their attack dissipates, and Kakashi let go of their wrist. Kakashi sighed. You both have improved a lot. You both managed to surprise me. Naruto is able to do the Rasengan. The only person that could teach him was probably Jiraiya. That would only explain how he improved so much, Kakashi thought. We have next week for the Chunin exams started. I take it that you all are going to complete. Kakashi looked at of the students and saw them all nodded yes. Okay then. All of you take a break until no missions and no training. Just take it easy. They nodded and left. Naruto, can you wait a minute? Naruto stopped, walked to his sensei. Is something wrong? The blonde asked. Kakashi I smiled. Nothing wrong. I just wanted to know who trained you. Naruto smiled. Jiraiya did. Since you were gone, I had to ask someone. Kakashi felt bad. He neglected his students for another. Well, I'm sorry about that. How about some ramen to make it up to you? Kakashi offered. Kakashi couldn't see it, but Naruto's eyes turned to stars. He had to see what was under those goggles. Naruto, can you take off your goggles for a sec? The copy ninja asked. Naruto was surprised. Why does he want my goggles off? Naruto listened and took off his goggles. Kakashi was a little surprised. He was expecting something different. Why do you want my goggles? Because I think you look really cool, Naruto said in an attractive tone. Kakashi sensed in his anger. I'm sorry. You want some ramen? Naruto put on his goggles and his hand on his pockets. No, I'm not hungry. Naruto walked away into the forest. Kakashi felt like shit. He was wrong about Naruto. He is in full control of the Nine Tails. Naruto sat against the tree. He didn't. Why? He always sat against a tree. It always made him calm. Naruto tried to calm from what his sensei tried to do. He doesn't trust me. Of course he doesn't trust you. No one does. Naruto put his hand over his head and yelled, Ugh, shut up. Everything would be fine if you didn't trick me. That's why people treat you. Has nothing to do with me. Naruto started to growl. He has tried of the QB. What's up? Naruto looked up to where the voice came from. It's Yami. She's standing upside down from the branch. She had a nice smile and had her arms across with a kunai in her hand. What are you doing out here? Naruto asked, standing back. I got bored and decided to come here to see you, and threw a kunai and dropped from the branch. Naruto cut the kunai on the sharp side. Yami pointed at Naruto. Ow. Naruto looked down in his hand. It was dripping a lot of blood. Naruto just shrugged it. He didn't feel it, so why does it matter? He opened two of his hands and saw two deep cuts oozing from blood. It took terrible, but he didn't care. But Naruto with the kunai away. Yami giggled. She gave Naruto a little punch on the shoulder. You're pretty tough. Naruto actually felt that a little punch. He felt a soft bump and didn't feel the cut on his hand. He decided to pay no attention. So what do you want to do? He asked. Her eyes looked up.